What's going on, guys? Bexio, and today we got some big news with Plug Power making a brand new partnership with Amazon, the tech giant, for some good old hydrogen. Amazon has a deal right now with Plug that's going to supply them with hydrogen. They've already had an outstanding relationship with Amazon, and this move kind of makes a good future base for what Plug could do with its other relationships because Plug is plugged in to a lot of these giant companies. It has a relationship, a working relationship with Amazon, which could have led to this deal actually happening. It also has a working relationship with Walmart, with Home Depot, and with GM. So all of these kind of major companies, they could get similar deals and kind of structure something where they become a supplier of hydrogen for these companies, and that gets to kickstart their business and make them just start rolling towards their real goals. You can see this Amazon deal right here actually happened or came out on Thursday, which saw Plug Power went up like 9-10% on the news. It was a big move. You can see under these terms, Plug will supply liquid green hydrogen to Amazon from 2025. The agreement comes as a timely boost for Plug's 2025 $3 billion revenue goal. We know that's one of Plug's big goals. 2024 was about a billion. For the last couple of years, they've been raising that expectation, getting it to like $1.25 billion, $1.5 billion, and now 2025 $3 billion in revenue. So they are expecting to expand pretty quickly, start making money and good amounts of it, which is obviously good for the business. And hopefully by 2025, they should be cash flow positive and actually making money from this stuff. And it also helps Amazon because they aim to decarbonize their operations and achieve net zero carbon emissions by 2040. And that gains momentum. So if Amazon's goal is to do that by 2040, this agreement is for 2025. That could mean that up after 2025 till 2040, maybe there's a lot more going on between Plug and Amazon, and they make more deals, make more money for both companies benefiting, and Plug gets to continue supplying hydrogen, growing their operation, and growing their revenue. So that's something to kind of take a look at and could very easily happen. If 2040 is their goal, 2025, that's a lot of years after that. So that could continue their working kind of relationship. Like you said, they had a Plug and Amazon have had a long-standing relationship, and with all those other companies just as well, Walmart, Home Depot, GM, and all of them use Plug's forklift fuel cells for hydrogen fuel cells for like their warehouses and stuff. So it would not be ridiculous to see Plug building out these infrastructures to produce the hydrogen itself, the fuel itself, and also transport it and be that main hub company that's going to supply them with the fuel cells, supply them with the hydrogen, and be able to keep that business in-house and really, really ramp it up and actually make a lot of money. And that's exactly what this deal is with Amazon, seeing it'll involve Plug delivering hydrogen to Amazon through its electrolyzers, liquefaction capacities, and tankers from January 1st, 2025. So just kind of already Amazon uses their fuel cells for their forklifts in their warehouses. Now Plug can still do that and still have that business going while simultaneously being the provider and maker of the fuel itself, the hydrogen, and delivering it. It's an all-in-one kind of one-stop shop company that seems like, if this is the way that they're going down, could be very good for them. And there's a lot of positives to look at for Plug right now, not only with this new deal with Amazon to bolster Plug's chance of reaching its revenue goals and reaching profitability. That's a big target. And they also, Plug also stands to benefit from the recent Inflation Reduction Act with increased demand and green tax credits. So not only is it going to increase demand for green energy and renewable energy, it's also going to give them these green tax credits that they're going to be able to use to expand their business, bring in more revenue, and kind of just make sure their business gets bolstered up a bit and strengthens. But diving into this Amazon deal itself, we can see that part of the deal is Amazon receives the right to buy up to 16 million shares of Plug Power. And those break down like this. They could buy up to 16 million shares at an exercise price of $22.98 for the first 9 million shares. Amazon agreed to spend $2.1 billion on Plug's products over the 7-year term of the contract in order for its warrants to fully vest. So it can get those shares. Amazon can have the right to buy those shares at that price if they spend $2.1 billion on Plug's products. And that's good for Plug. Obviously, that's kind of trying to guarantee a revenue source, an income source that gets you a lot of money. 2.1 billion over several years is a good start for Plug, bringing them closer to their goals of the $1 billion year for revenue, the $3 billion year in 2025, and reaching profitability. So all this is steps in the right direction for Plug to actually become a pretty big energy provider and energy company. And just to look at the kind of difference earlier in the year and last year compared to now with hedge funds interest in Plug, you can see it was 3.9 million was the high, almost 4 million shares for hedge funds being bought here, and that just kind of had a steady decline while the price rocketed up. And now we have massively more interest from these hedge funds, from these institutions, a lot more. Even this one is the lowest of the four here at 5.7 million, and that still way outweighs the biggest one earlier at almost 4 million. So there's big interest from bigger companies and the tech giants like Amazon. I'm sure if this Amazon deal does well and Amazon likes it, Walmart could be next. They already have a relationship there with Plug, Home Depot. These companies could easily break deals with Plug, go down this kind of green energy path and benefit themselves, make themselves better, and make Plug money. Everybody wins there. And it wouldn't surprise me to see that happen and see deals over the next year or two start to come out with Home Depot and Walmart. Those will be massive. Those will be just as big as these Amazon deals. And it will obviously affect the price in a positive way. And speaking of price for Plug, we can see the chart right here. Plug actually not in a bad position compared to a lot of the market today. We know Plug is down 3.5, just over 4% taken after hours. And that isn't that bad when you look at giant companies like Google down over 5%, Apple down around what Plug is down. So when Apple and Plug are on the same level of dropping, I mean, that's a really good job for Plug. Plug is a risk on stock right now. And when the market gets a little turbulent, it usually sells off heavy more than things like blue chip tech stocks, especially Apple, the largest company in the world. But for Plug right now, you look at this on the chart, they're even in a good spot. We know we had this rally up above this line right here, the top of this red channel. We got above it for a while, went all the way to $31, ultimately started coming back down, curled up and kind of hit our head here on the top line. And then the Amazon news broke, rocketed the price up to almost $32. And now we see we have a full candle above and another full candle above. So even though the market is in a turbulent spot, things are dropping, people are panicking, Plug not in a bad spot. It stayed above the red channel here. Not to say it can't come back in this, but I would be looking at to see if we can try and use this as support, create this into support, and move up more. Now, obviously, that does depend a lot on what happens with the entire market. So if the Fed gets even more hawkish, starts really breaking down on interest rates and scaring the market, then Plug will fall. It wouldn't be surprising to see Plug if everything started getting much more hawkish, the Fed's fighting. It wouldn't be ridiculous to see Plug down to like $25 levels, or even down to this bottom channel here at like $23. So that wouldn't be extremely surprising. It wouldn't shock me to see Plug do that. But I think we're in a spot where we can try and stay above this line, use it as support, and see if we can maintain even a sideways move until maybe things get a little bit better. People start to feel better. This Amazon news is big news, and that is what's single-handedly keeping Plug above this line right now. And maybe it's enough to keep us above there long enough to turn it into support. But Plug looking really good. This Amazon deal is huge. It opens the door for them in the future to make deals with their other working relationships in giant companies, Walmart and Home Depot. Can't say that enough, saying that those companies' names time and time again in this video, because I think that is kind of a pathway from here. Amazon, the trillion-dollar company, the big dog coming in, making this deal. Walmart could be next. Home Depot could follow. Wouldn't surprise me to see those go through, and Plug Power be able to smash those goals of $1.25 million, $1.5 million 2024, and becoming profitable in 24, and then $3 billion in 25, and reaching that with these contracts. I think they could easily do it. So only time will tell, but Plug Power is a green energy company, and a lot of the world is moving towards green energy. So it wouldn't surprise me to see Plug become a big energy player. They're building out the infrastructure, they're getting it all done now, and they're going to be able to produce the green energy once once they're all set up. So they're going to be in a good spot. That's kind of where the world is going, and it looks like Plug is positioned to benefit from all of this going on. That's gonna do it for this video, guys. As always, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I'll see you guys in my next video.